all screwed up. What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today is a big day. We are starting the Tundra Overland build, and I am super excited. So this is my new to me 2019 Toyota Tundra 4-wheel drive SR5 package, and I am super excited to get started on this build. So as far as what suspension I'm going to be putting on today, we are going to do the Bilstein 6112 front struts, the Bilstein 5160 rear reservoir shocks, the Bilstein front upper control arms, and the Icon RXT heavy leaf springs in the back. So I'm headed to Jake's shop at Bixler here in San Antonio, and we'll see y'all when we get there. Here. So we're back here with Jake. What's going on, man? You ready? All right, so we got everything out. So I'm going to show you guys what we're putting on. So we have the Bilstein 5160 rear reservoir shocks. We have the Bilstein 6112 front struts, and then we have these Bilstein front upper control arms, and these things look beefy. I'm excited. Then right here we have the Icon RXT heavy leaf springs with the add-a leaf that we'll be putting on for all the extra weight that we're going to be adding to this thing, and that sums it up. So right now this is what the truck has on it. I guess the previous owner or the dealership put it on. It has a big hockey puck strut spacer in the front, which I'm not a big fan of. Everybody knows those things suck and they're dangerous. And then in the back we have a block under the leaf springs, which is another thing I am not a fan of. So we're going to be taking that old lift off, replacing it with this stuff, and basically making it a real setup. What's the plan, man? What's the plan of attack?
Take some shit off, put some shit on. We're gonna take off the top ball joint, probably get rid of this upper control arm first, replace it with the new upper control arm while we're in there. Next we'll take the tie rods off, pull the struts off, replace the struts, bolt everything back up, torque it down, good to go.
Easy money. So Jake's got the brake lines taken off, the spindle disconnected from the upper control arm, and now he's going to take off the upper control arm, and then we'll replace that, replace the struts, and we'll be good to go.
So I think we have to take maybe the battery out to get this bolt out.
Oh really? Mm-hmm. All right, so we are having to take the battery off. No big deal, just a couple of extra bolts. Good thing you went to the gym this morning. Lightweight. Got it.
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm going to show y'all a comparison of the UCAs real quick. So here is the factory stamped, crappy, preloaded upper control arms. And here are the Bilsteins, tubular, replaceable ball joints. These things are nice. They look good. So we got to put the bushings in them really quick, and then we'll get those mounted on and then start working on the struts. So the instructions call for a press or a vise to install them. So So that's what we're doing. We're using Jake's press to go ahead and put these in. And it looks like it's working like a charm. Bam.
Driver's side's done.
All right. We got the driver's side upper control arm assembled. We had to use a vise to put those bushings in there. So there is 2 Zerk fittings on the upper control arms, and you can see the way Jake positioned them facing towards your tire at a slight angle for easy access when you need to grease everything. All right, we got the first upper control arm on. Jake just finished torquing them down, and now he's marking the nut and the bolts to make sure everything stays aligned when we're driving. It's just a cheap assurance to
Visually inspect it
and make sure that nothing's going to come off when you're driving. But they're looking good so far. Check them out. So now we're going to get started on the strut, and then we'll hop to the other side, do that, and then get the back side done. All right, so since the previous owner or Toyota, whoever it was, put the strut spacer up top for the leveling kit or the lift, whatever you call it, that coil on this factory strut is so compressed that we're going to have to unbolt the lower control arms, the spindle assembly, and you can see right there how compressed that strut is pushing up in there. So it's kind of being a pain in the you-know-what. And that's why you don't use spacers, guys. All right, so here is a quick comparison of the factory strut versus the Bilstein 6112s that we're putting on. So you can see these Bilsteins are a lot beefier. These are 2.65 inches in diameter, and they are sweet. So these are also adjustable like the 5100s and most of these Bilstein struts you can buy. So we have it set on the 4th notch, which will be about 2.5 inches of lift up front.
Much easier to get off.
All right, we got this side done. We got the strut on, the upper control arm, and everything is torqued down to spec. And the nuts and bolts are marked so that we can inspect those, you know, as we drive and go on trails and stuff to make sure nothing's coming loose. And it is looking good. Alrighty, the front is all done. Got this side on. I didn't do any recording on this side just because it's the same process. You just kind of reverse it to the next side. So we are going to get the wheels and tires put back on, and then we'll get started on the back. All right, we're working on the rear now, and Jake is putting together the attic leaf kit on the Icon RXT leaf springs. So he's going to go over how it's done.
We got C-clamps holding it together so we can remove the center pin. We're going to unbolt these, whatever these are called, holding the leaf springs together. Then slip the add leaf in between the main spring and the 3rd spring. And then put the extended pin back in, bolt it all together, and it's good to go, good to install.
All right, so the add leaf goes on top of the 3rd leaf spring from the top. So it's going to go in between the 3rd and 4th leaf spring. You can see Jake's putting that on. And the key is with this to keep everything aligned. So you can see Jake put a screwdriver in the hole right there on the other leaf pack, and then you're just going to slide it in, keep that screwdriver aligned in the hole, keep all those shims in line, and you're in business.
There it is.
Got it?
Yeah.
All right, we're in. So we got the screwdriver in there holding everything in line, and now we're going to clamp it down before we bolt it all back together and make sure it's all straight. Now this is the heaviest option you can run with these RXT leaf springs. There's two other options you can run by not adding a leaf at all. Then you can replace a leaf with the heavy one that we just replaced. And this is the heaviest option that you can run with it, is with all the leaf springs in there, and it's rated for 600 pounds of constant weight. So that's what we're doing.
Give it a little tap.
Tap, tap, taparoo. Now the threads are all screwed up.
Son of a bitch.
All right, Jake's taking off the driver's side rear shock. These are pretty simple. It's just one bolt on the bottom and one nut on top. Kind of just take it off and pry it out and it comes right out. All right, so we got the rear shock off on the driver's side. Now what we're gonna do is unbolt the U-bolts to let these factory leaf springs free, and just do one side at a time. So we're gonna put the new leaf springs and the new shock on this side and then tackle the other side after that. So here is the block that they had underneath the leaf springs, I guess for the leveling kit that they put on with those strut spacers, and this is literally just a chunk of plastic underneath there. These are a big no-no. All right, so we're taking off the factory leaf springs, just a bolt on that side and a bolt on this side, and we are using or reusing factory shackles. So now here is the Icon leaf springs and the factory ones. Look at the difference in these guys. So right here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 leaves. On the Icons, rated for 600 extra pounds in the bed. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 leaves in that pack. And they should work perfect for what we're gonna do with the truck. Now we're just gonna repeat the process. Put the leaf springs back where the factory ones go, bolt them on the shackles, both front and rear. Put the U-bolts on, bolt those on, put the shocks on, and then do the other side, and we will be good. All right, so we got the new leaf springs on the driver's side, and what we had to do basically was put a ratchet strap right there on the shock mount to right up there on the frame, and we just gave it a couple of cranks to pull the axle forward a little bit, and everything lined up perfect. So now we just have to get it all bolted back together and put the shock on, and we will be done with this side. All right, we got it on. We are all done. So we got the Bilstein 5160 rear reservoir shock on there, the Icon RXT heavy leaf springs, and everything's bolted on, ready to go. We just got to finish torquing down the U-bolts, put the tire back on this side, and we'll be ready to roll. So you guys are doing this alone. I highly recommend doing it with a friend. The ratchet strap helped, but it still wasn't enough. You still need 2 people. So if you're putting this lift on, definitely have somebody help you out, you know, whether it's a buddy or whatever, and you will thank me later for it. So yeah, I'm gonna finish up this right here right now, and then we're gonna hop to the other side and knock the other side out real fast. I'm not gonna record the other side because it's literally the same process. So we will see y'all when it's all done. All right guys, we just got home from the shop, and I took my first drive in it, and it rides awesome. I love it. Check it out. So it sits just right to me. There's a slight rake in the back. We're probably about 3/4 of an inch higher in the back, and it's perfect. It's the perfect driving angle, and it rides smooth. It rides so much better than it did before with those spacers. So that is video number 1 of the Tundra Overland build. We'll just focus on the suspension for this video, and now it's time to do some other things to it. So I need to order some wheels and some tires. So that'll probably be next because these little ones look funny on it. And then, I don't know, maybe bumper, we'll see. It's just a matter of finding the money to fund it. But yeah, that's all we got. I guess I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.